What'd you get your little man for Christmas?
A Fisher Price hoop. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now that's a big moment.
Yeah.
What did you feel like when you bought that one?
Old. I feel like a full dad now. So, yeah.
That's good stuff, man. After the SDSU game, Russ was saying we focused 98% defense on our preparation. Maybe we need to change that a little bit. Have you changed that a little bit this week?
Oh yeah, so far this week we've been working on like ball movement, trying to get crisper, quicker pace into our offense. So, we've been incorporating that, but we're still obviously defensive oriented.
Looking at the season you're having, I guess if you watched somebody who was exactly like you on film, what would you think of that player?
I don't know, high energy. Plays a lot of heart. It's probably that.
Where do you think you're a better player this season than last year?
I feel like I'm a much improved three-point shooter, and I'm also a lot more confident in my shot. Also, I feel like I've been playing a lot better off the perimeter. Getting to the basket, it's been easier getting matches up like that. So I'd probably say those two areas.
Your shooting percentage from three is way up, but you're actually taking a bit fewer threes. I mean, is that just a focus on trying to get to the basket? Because if you want to get to the rim, typically you can get to the rim.
It's really just seeing how they play me and like what I feel like I have an advantage at and where I have the opening at. So it's really just kind of reading my defender. So.
When you think of where this program is now versus where it is when you're committed, I guess what's the first thing that comes to mind about the transformation you've been a part of here?
It's like night and day. It's just crazy. It's a complete, really 180, and it's great to see. It's great to be a part of. And it's gone by so quick, which is just crazy in itself. But I was just really proud to see it, in this light.
What do you enjoy so much about Reno and this university? Because you talk pretty glowingly about this place.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a great, this is my fourth year, so I had a great 4 years here so far, and it's just been amazing. It's a great community. I met a lot of great people here. The coaching staff is wonderful, and it was just a huge opportunity and blessing for me to be able to play here. So I always cherish Reno and just the University of Nevada itself.
When you look at Akron, I guess what kind of stands out about the challenges they could potentially present?
They can shoot the three. When they're hitting the three, they're a pretty difficult team to guard because their size, they match up well. They have length, but they also can go small. So that and their defense is also similar to South Dakota State. So I'd probably say that.
With 2 non-conference games left, how do you feel about where you guys are at? I know that's a weird thing to say every time, but how do you feel about where you're at with conference play right on the horizon?
I feel like we're in a great spot when we're undefeated, so we can't really complain about that. But obviously, it's a lot we can improve on, which is good, and hopefully we can fine-tune some things going into conference to make a nice push in the conference. So, but I feel like we're in a pretty good spot.
And what do you think is the emphasis in the rest of this non-conference schedule?
One, just improving, keep just getting better each and every day. The biggest thing is not to take step backs in any area. So not like offensively, defensively, we all just have to keep improving each and every day. So.
Why have you guys been so much better on defense? It seems like you're able to win games more ways this year than last year.
One, I think the size helps a lot. Like Trey Porter and Jordan Brown is just great inside, post defenders. And Thurm, too. Thurm is a huge defender, and I don't think he gets enough credit for it. So I really say that. And, just the buy-in, too, from the whole team. We're a lot more locked in. We communicate a lot better on defense. And I think it's more of a pride thing because we knew in order to be the team we wanted to be, we had to be a much improved defensive team.
I think maybe one of the special things about you is your consistency, and you can kind of bank on what you're going to give the team every night. What do you think has been the key to you being able to have good games basically every time out and not have these big dips in play from game to game?
Probably just preparedness. I just try to work as hard as I can, work out twice a day, and just keep myself just sharp. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. I always feel ready. I feel like if I go play today, I'll be fine. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Sergeant was kind of talking about you do work out twice in addition to practice every single day. Where does that drive come from? Are there ever times where you're like, I don't really want to go to the gym for a third time tonight, and then how do you push past that?
Oh yeah, there's always times like that. This morning when I just came from a workout and I was like, I don't want to go, but I have to. I just got to make myself do it. And the biggest thing is I was always overlooked. Never really recruited. So that's really the biggest thing. Just always having that chip and never forgot how I felt then and how I feel now. So that's really the biggest driving factor.
It seems like coaches kind of built the program on guys like that who believe that they've been kind of looked over their entire career. I mean, is that maybe the commonality among all of these transfers and guys who have really shined here and gotten a second chance? And how do you feel like that affects the hunger of this team?
I feel like it affects the hunger a lot because it gives us kind of like a blue collar mentality in a sense. You know, it's not a bunch of guys who are prima donnas or like who are this and that coming out. Everybody, you know, has been in a worse situation, want to improve, or you know, some sort like that, or they got a second chance. So that being said, it's really like ingrained in the culture. You know, you just have to work hard and you have to, you know, be willing to give it all.
Do you feel like coach has a chip as well, either for his time at the NBA or, you know, maybe he interviewed for a couple of college jobs and didn't get it before Nevada offered him? I mean, do you see that from him as well?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. He definitely has a chip. You know, he wants to be more prepared than each and every coach. He takes so much pride in trying to outcoach other coaches, so that's huge on his part. You know, he also has a huge chip too.
How much belief comes just from seeing him on the sideline and knowing you have that guy there in your corner and that, you know, he is as prepared or more prepared than anybody you guys are going to face?
It makes it so much easier, you know, you have someone like just that bought in, and then, you know, who's watching film each and every day, trying to get you better, trying to find a way to win, and he wants to win just as bad as anybody. It makes it so much easier to play for a guy like that.
And Coach told us Saturday that he said sometimes when you win games, you can get comfortable. Do you feel like, and more so referencing the first halves, do you feel like that's happening with your team, or are you guys aware that at times you're kind of playing with fire?
Oh, I mean, you know, that happens, but we realize we have to come out and, you know, play harder each and every like game in the first half, and we've been working on it. We obviously have to keep improving because it's been like 4 games in a row now. But you know, I wouldn't say we got complacent, but it's just something we definitely have to improve on.
How much do you watch the Mountain West and what other teams are doing? I wouldn't say the conference has necessarily been, you know, great in non-conference play. I mean, how much do you keep tabs on what other people are doing because you know you got to play them twice each?
All right. Well, look, I watch everybody. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, I watch it. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of Utah State because I thought they were much improved, and Sam Merrill's been playing really well. And I've been watching a lot of San Diego State too because, you know, they're coming in. They're I think second preseason or up there, and then Fresno State really surprised me on how well they've been playing lately. So I've been keeping a lot of tabs on teams, and I feel like in conference it doesn't matter who's who. Anybody can get beat in conference, just from one, familiarity, and two, just it's conference.
For them when you're watching those games? Or?
Oh yeah, I am. You know, I always want the conference to look good, so every time I watch them, I wanted them to win. When they played Miami, I thought they were gonna pull that one out.
Did you model your game after anybody? Who did you look up to as a kid watching basketball games? Kind of from a football family and seeing it in the path.
I mean, looking up when Harlan was younger, it's probably Andre Karolinko and Josh Howard. Those were my 2 favorite players when I was younger. So those are 2. Josh Howard, he was just tough, and he did everything. And same thing with Andre Karolinko, he just did everything. Like, I remember one game, he had like 14 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 blocks, and like 6 steals. So like, I was like, oh, that always impressed me, stuff like that.
Any more questions for Jordan? Thank you.
Thanks.
Questions for Coach Musselman?
Coach, you said the prep for SDSU was 98% defense, and maybe you needed to rethink that. Have you, and have things changed since then?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're obviously focused on Akron as much as we possibly can, and doing, you know, half offense, half defense, and trying to continue to get better from an offensive standpoint, as well as making sure we don't lose our edge defensively.
Jordan has been really, really steady this year, and we just talked to him a lot about that. What has he just meant kind of as the heartbeat of this team?
I mean, Jordan's just this year's, you know, just consistency on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively, and then he's one of the nation's most competitive players. Rebounds the ball at such a high rate from an offensive standpoint, offensive rebounding. If you look at his numbers, free throw shooting percentage in the last like 3 minutes of the game, it's amazing what his shooting percentage is from the foul line when the game's on the line. Just a guy that, you know, has improved offensively from 3-point range each year, and you know, with him on your team, you have great confidence going into every game.
What was your sales pitch to him when he came and visited a team that's coming off a 9-22 season, hasn't been in a tournament in a decade?
I can't even remember what the sales pitch was, but you know, from I don't know about the glasses he wears, but the glasses I was wearing, like, I just remember texting everybody and saying, we got to get this guy. He's perfect personality. You know, he's always smiling. He was upbeat the entire time he was on his visit. Has like a magnetic personality that you want to be around him. But I remember he ate a lot, maybe more than anybody we had on on an official visit.
Where did you take him?
We went right from the airport. What's the barbecue place right by the airport in McCarran?
Any brothers?
Not Brothers.
Famous Days.
Famous Days. And he put down like 40 wings. I'm not joking either. He was just down in wings.
Where does the consistency come from? Because, I mean, that's hard to get out of a player where you know what you're going to get from him every single game, but you really know what you're going to get out of him.
I just think he maxes out his potential every night. You know, he plays so hard, and he doesn't have lulls in his competitive nature or his motor. And I think because he's got such a high motor, such a high competitiveness, that, you know, because of those factors, he's consistent during the games.
He had the chance to go to programs that were a lot more established, that were regularly in the tournament. What do you think it said about him that he wanted to come to a place and turn it around rather than maybe take the easier route of just going to a place where he knew the team was going to be successful?
Yeah, I mean, we were, you know, in the recruiting process, we were really concerned because there was people like Xavier and, you know, places that were close enough to home where his family probably could have seen him play more than coming here. But again, I mean, me personally, I felt the connection. Like, we felt like when he was on his visit that we were going to get him, that he liked what he saw here. And we laid out a vision and a plan on how he would have a big impact on who we were. And we tried to lay out a little bit of a blueprint from a player development on how he wouldn't just be a five-man, which is what he was at his prior school. We told him we wanted him to play some three and wanted him to improve his three-point skills and his ball handling. We wanted to put him in isolation situations. We wanted him to play in pick and roll as a ball handler and a screen setter. And I think he's been able to do all those things here.
I mean, really, since you came here, it's you, Ruda, Lindsay, and Jordan as the four guys who've been here the whole time. How has he changed as a person? How is he more prepared now for, I guess, life after school and professionally having a career?
You know, I think I mean, when we got him, I felt like he was a mature kid. You know, I just think that you know, the work ethic, the toughness, the competitiveness, all things that no one can coach, just things that a guy either has or doesn't have, he exhibits them. And, you know, he's going to definitely play basketball beyond here. Well, you know, we hope in the NBA. We feel like I feel like he's a P.J. Tucker type. I remember when I was with the Kings and P.J. Tucker was coming out, and I sat in the draft room and said we should draft P.J. Tucker in the late 20s. And basically I got laughed at, and we ended up taking Quincy Doobie, and Quincy Doobie's I don't know where, and P.J. Tucker's still in the NBA. And I think Jordan's one of those type guys. I mean, Tucker didn't have it easy right out of the gate to make the NBA, but he eventually stuck and turned himself into a really quality vet on a good team and a really a major piece to contending NBA teams. And I think Jordan has those same characteristics. I mean, I remember everything they said about Tucker and in the draft rooms, and Jordan's similar body and plays hard, and you know, he's one of those guys that's hard to keep off the floor because of his competitive nature.
If you were playing against Nevada and you were watching it on film and you saw Jordan Caroline, I guess what would you think of the challenge of trying to stop that guy or limiting him as much as possible?
I mean, I would just tell our guys, like, if you don't have a high motor, you got no chance. If you don't have toughness, we have no chance. And so to me, it was, you know, if you're playing against him or game planning, you got to have tough guys and you got to have guys with high motors.
He said he got little JC a Fisher Price hoop for Christmas this year, and that's a big moment and a big gift. Do you remember that with your guys, and what did that signify?
Yeah, I mean, I remember, you know, getting those type of gifts when I was young, but more importantly is little JC and King Oliver, just making sure that those two guys in time understand that, you know, they always have a Wolfpack offer.
What kind of stands out about Akron and the challenge you're going to face this weekend?
Akron's got a four-man who can really shoot the ball. He can put it on the deck. He can post up. Their point guard's really, really quick, can get in the lane and shoot the three. If you don't guard their three-point shot, you're going to be in trouble. They shoot a lot of threes, and they're a pretty good three-point shooting team. They'll change up defenses. They got a little bit of a 1-3-1 extended. They'll play some man. They'll play some zone. Really well-coached team, and, you know, They got, guy off the bench, lefty guard, can score the ball, looks to score the ball off the bench, and so they have a lot of nice pieces. But we got to stop the pick and pop with their 4-man. That's a big part of what they do, and we got to keep their point guard out of the lane, but yet also contest his 3-ball.
Think you'll have Jazz available for this game, or I guess where's he at in the protocol?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jazz is day to day. We'll just keep evaluating, see where he is. Both, from a medical standpoint, and then also, like where's his wind, where's his confidence? Because obviously we have a break coming up after this as well.
What did you learn about his importance to your operation by not having him for a game?
Yeah, I don't think I really needed to not have him against, South Dakota State to understand. I mean, I think when you look and you sit there and you just look at our CUME stats and you say, all right, here's he's our 3rd leading scorer. And I think on any team, when you lose your 3rd leading scorer and a guy that shoots such a high percentage from 3-point area, you're going to miss a lot. And certainly we're a different team when he's available and able to suit up and he's a threat from 3, and it opens up driving angles for other people.
Caleb's analysis of this game is still pretty rough. I mean, do you like that? Do you try and, I'm sure he's still really confident, but I guess how do you massage what he's thinking about himself? Do you want him to be as tough as he is on himself, or do you go to him and be like, it's not that bad? I
mean, we're winning. And I said, the game before SDSU, he had 12 rebounds. And, the last game he played point guard, which he doesn't even skeleton or dry run point. Jazz usually gets some backup point guard minutes. And, Cody got in foul trouble, and there's no Cody, there's no Jazz. And now I put him at the point and try to run pick and rolls and some stuff with him. And he's going to be fine. And, I feel bad for the opponent when he busts out. Because I think when he gets hot, he's going to get hot and stay hot.
Vincent's leaving the program. I guess just your thoughts on losing a freshman as early as you did. I mean, it maybe gives you an opportunity to bring somebody in mid-year, but I'm sure you'd like to keep.
No, I mean we're we want to help Vincent all we can, and our staff's gotten on the phone talking to other programs. We wish him the best of luck, and it's kind of nature of college athletics right now across the board, regardless of sport.
Kind of shows how the program has evolved too. I mean, when he committed, he probably was going to play a lot, but I mean, over the last 12 months, a lot of things changed, and you guys are able to get to it seems like a different caliber of player at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at our roster, I mean, it's like right now, it's the minutes are scarce because we have so many veterans, and we're a talented team, and 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago. I mean, I don't know, maybe Jack knew, but I don't know if anyone knew we would be 11-0 and be a top 10 team for I don't know how long it's been now, a month and a half or whatever it's been. But that's where we are, so.
You like this period? I think you guys have 3 games in 23 days. Would you like to play a little bit more regularly, or does it give you?
What's it down to now? 2 games in 14.
Yeah. They get to go home and,
they probably love it. I don't like it. I mean, I told my wife I'll be pretty cool, Sunday when we have off, Monday midday I'll start getting a little restless, not going to practice. But, it's Christmas Eve and Christmas, so
They have Christmas off at least?
Yeah, they have 3 days off.
That's like an NCAA rule?
Yeah. It's a new rule. Yep, 3 days off. I thought my staff basically told me that it was Christmas, but the more research I did, I think that it's a 3-day block over like a month and a half. But most programs are using it for Christmas. My staff definitely wanted me to think that it was only a Christmas 3-day break. I can tell you that, and I tried to do a little bit of extra research, and I think that there's a little more wiggle room than what my staff led me to believe.
The players had to be happy when you told them because you guys.
Yeah, they're happy. I mean, they are, and not everybody's going home. I mean, we have some guys that just financially can't do it, and logistically can't do it. So, but it'll be good for those guys, for everybody, just kind of get away from it, relax your mind, get off your legs, and then come back and get ready for Utah, and then get ready for conference. So I think it's a really good time for student athletes. They just finished finals today or tomorrow, and so finals end. You got your game Saturday, and then you kind of get away for a little bit.
I know you guys are sort of segmenting the season. What do you hope to accomplish before Mountain West play gets here, and what's going to be your emphasis until then, these last two?
Yeah, I mean the main thing is, just because we do have a break coming up, is how do we win this game coming up on our schedule on Saturday, and then get everybody back on time for Utah prep, and have a really good few days prepping for Utah, and get on the plane and go there and play against a really well coached Utah team, and another Pac-12 opponent, and on the road, a true road game. But first things first is how do we figure out a way to play well against Akron, and let these guys, go home in a good mood.
You also said Saturday that sometimes when you win, you can get comfortable. More so, obviously referencing the first halves. Do you feel like the guys are aware that at times they're playing with fire, and that you can come back and get them?
Yeah, I mean, I watch games every night, and you're not going to play perfect basketball through 40 minutes. And I guess what I've found is, even when you're 11-0 and you're ranked 11th, I mean, when you're 11-0 and you're ranked 7th or top 10, there's people out there that are always going to have, this guy should play more, or these three guys should play more, or you're off to a slow start, or you don't have a good zone off. So you just block it out, and until all those people want to sit and watch 7 hours of film with us, it's kind of meaningless, is the way that I look at it. And so we're not going to play perfect basketball for 40 minutes, and Duke's not going to play it for 40 minutes, and they have close games all the time through 30 minutes, and then the game changes at some point in the game. And we went through a stretch where we were tired too, not happy with how we played the whole game against South Dakota State, and hopefully we'll play well enough to win the game Saturday.
You feel like you guys are judged more harshly because you are a mid-major trying to break in with these blue bloods who people would just expect that?
I think the national media has been great. I think the local media has been great. I think it's, sometimes the Twitter sphere and the fans, and we got people tweeting and stuff, they don't even come to a game. And so, but I guess that's the area and the lay of the land, and you just deal with it.
Still selling out all these games, though. I guess, what does that mean to you personally, just to see that all the work you've put in? Like, you could just coach the team and not worry about other stuff. You don't do that. What does it mean to you to see this place filled for your players, given the amount of work you've put into community engagement?
I mean, I think all of us, like, we've all, every day, still to this day, like, I heard, hey, we're going to be close to a sellout on Saturday, and my thing is, well, how do we get to a sellout? And instead of saying we're close, or we're going to be like, what can we do from our end? Like, who can we go out and try to get engaged? And I mean, from a personal standpoint, my family tries to get out in the community as much as we can to bring people into the Pac family, and certainly our coaching staff does the same thing. And we tell our players all the time. I mean, we got a tweet, yesterday about one of our players at a local restaurant and how they represented the program so well. And when you see stuff like that, like, it's cool, and you got it, and you share it with your team, and then you hope that creates somebody else the next night going out and touching your fans in a way that's a positive feeling for them. But I think that we're having these great crowds because we have a really good team, because we're ranked, because there's hype. But we also do because our fans can identify with our style of play and who our guys are, and they like watching us play. And I think it started a couple years ago, just with how hard the guys played.
Why does that matter to you? I mean, a lot of coaches don't want to put in the effort to do that stuff. Clearly, your guys' plates are very full. Why was that a point of emphasis for you when you did get this job?
I think, like, wherever I've been in the minor leagues, I took great pride in Rapid City, South Dakota, that we led the league in attendance every year. And the truth of the matter is, I think my teams play better when they're playing in front of big crowds. And so you got to do everything you possibly can to try to win games. And, sometimes it's in the past, if you go out there and there's not a big crowd, it can be a little bit of a letdown for guys. But the way it is now, like, our guys can't wait to come out of the tunnel and go through the layup line, and I mean, it's neat, and you know, like, all you want is you just want people to come and give you a chance, like, give your product a chance. Come and watch us, and if you don't like it, don't come back. But we think you're going to like it, and you think you're going to like how the style of play and how hard guys play, and obviously, you know, the momentum has not stopped. It's continuing to grow, and I don't always think it's about wins and losses. I really don't. I mean, I think it's about connecting with them, and you know, you want your community to feel like you're part of them.
How do people react to you in the community in Reno as opposed to when you were the head coach of the Kings and the Warriors? Do you get recognized more? Is there more conversations with people, or people staring at you like they know who you are but don't want to say anything?
I mean, I didn't want to be recognized with the Kings. So even if I was, I tried to kind of, you know, not really look that direction. Or the Warriors, I had a different feeling because I felt like we kind of overachieved. And I mean, when I'm back in the Bay Area, I still wear my Warrior stuff to work out, and I'll go to a Warrior game. So I mean, that was a good feeling walking around the Bay Area. But it's different here. I mean, it's different now in this community. It's different in the airports. You know, I talked about it yesterday at our luncheon, that, like, I'm in Chicago. We're walking through the airport, and a guy's getting his shoes shined, and the guy who's working on the shoes, when the Martin twins walk by, goes, "Hey, there's the Nevada basketball team and the Martin twins." And I'm thinking, you know, I like had to stop and think, like, we're in Chicago in an airport, and some guy just glanced up and noticed and recognized who the twins are. And so I think that, you know, with the Sweet 16 run and now some success this year, I mean, it's neat, it's cool. And, you know, you got two ways to approach it. You can either embrace it or act like you don't like it. And I think our family embraces it, and, you know, you have to enjoy it.
Any requests for taking your shirt off from people, or?
No. I mean, the people in the health club every morning at Anytime Fitness, when I take a break, they always say, "Hey, you never know when there might be a celebration. You got to keep working, keep doing crunches."